if you
You
did
saw
that.
the John
If you came on
Caparulo one.
stage- Who?
John Caparulo, the woman that threw a glass at John Caparulo at the
No,
Comedy
I
Magic
see
Club?
red. Some guy did that at the Comedy Store, and I was,
Really, B?
yeah, I was talking about being a Navy SEAL, joking around or something like that, and he started like defending the troops or something, and I just saw red. Like something happened to me where I was like, this guy's trying to be a tough guy,
Yeah.
and I'm on stage.
Yeah.
And I, you know me, I have that temper. Like what happens is I have
Tougher than
such a long fuse. But then once I see red,
You got a problem.
It's a
Really?
problem. I'm really
Oh, yeah,
bad.
real bad.
I'm gonna
Really?
fight. I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna go crazy on you. And I just was like, I think this is worth all the jail time.
So what was he doing? Was he
Shut the
heckling
fuck
you?
up. He shut the fuck up because I was embarrassed by my own reaction, but something about him pretending to be a guy standing up for the troops and I was
Oh, God.
being insulting made me fucking see red for maybe it was that time at the end. If somebody came on stage and started punching it,
That'd
it's
be the
gonna
only time that you would see like.
it's going to be a disaster for them. I don't
Well,
give a
it's,
fuck
it's
who
like
they are.
Marc Maron was.
But that's
I'm not going to be like that. I'm not going to put
Marc
my head
Maron
down.
was
I'm going to fight.
No, hell no. Marc Maron, he went on like late, and I went up way earlier in the main room. Then Mark went on like whatever 4 spots after. And I love Mark, his stand up. So I sit in the crowd, and there's like 2 gnarly dudes heckling him, like from Australia, a dad and a
Whoa.
son, and like
Oy.
probably did all the steroids from koalas. Like they were jacked, and they kept harassing him. And I see the Comedy Store like sound guys, because Derek and Asan were there, who worked the front door, and they're like, "Yeah, I know. All right, well, yeah, get everyone because it's gonna be a problem." So they like tell him, the guy's like, "Fuck off," and they keep harassing Mark.
Hey.
Mark just lights them on fire, like, but he's just pissed. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing? Stop
Yeah,
the
yeah,
show."
yeah.
He's like, what
He's
the
a pro, though.
he's
He knows how to, like-
He goes, "What the
like,
fuck are you doing?" And the
sometimes-
crowd's like, "Ugh." But then he gets them back,
That's
and then
right.
he goes, and it was funny. He goes, God damn it, I gotta walk to my car after this. You're probably gonna beat me up.
Yep,
God
yep,
damn.
yep, yep.
And like everyone's laughing,
Great.
but these guys keep going. And I'm looking at the Comedy Store security. I'm like, oh, they're fucked. If these guys want to hurt Mark, they're fucked. So I hung around. Like this would be the only time where.
Yeah,
like,
you got to hang
yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Because the guy threatened Chris. Like this
DeLeo?
is again, yeah. So I'm sitting on the wall, the side of the wall, and there's this guy who's heckling the comedians. Kind of a strong looking dude. The one thing I can't take is a bully.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fight you.
That's right.
I can't. So I'm sitting on the wall, and I go, if he does it, my heart. You've been with me when my heart
DeLeo
starts
not
beating.
lighting him
I'm
up,
gonna.
though?
No. He was heckling Chris, and then Chris was walking, and I saw him mark Chris, and I go, if he does anything to Chris, I'm gonna fight. I said that to I think it was somebody was next to me, and my heart starts beating. I go, we're gonna go now. I'm gonna fight this guy. I'm gonna punch him right now.
So do you does your brain in that moment go, okay, I'm going to do this. I
don't know. I just know that it's worth all the jail time and the risk. I'm going because I saw him. He gets in Chris's face and goes, "Put," like that. And you can ask Chris what I did after
And
that.
what'd Chris do?
Huh?
Did Chris go?
Chris hates that shit. Chris hates
Don't touch
that
my
shit.
shoes!
No, please don't. No.
Please don't touch my bedazzled hoodie!
Chris acts completely inconvenienced. He doesn't get mad the way I do.
Yeah.
Chris is like, "Oh, dude, whatever." And then
Oh, come on, bro. Are you serious?
And then
No dance, though,
the guy's, and he's a tough looking guy.
Yeah.
But that's it. So now he tries to come past me, and I get in that small space, and I'm moving my shoulders. I'm going
Right on the side of
I'm
the
asking him
Comedy
to do
The
one
little
thing
small
to
thing?
move on me
Did
because I
he-
want to
did
show
he
him what I'm going
leave?
to do. Because I turn my body and I'm going, ding, ding, ding. And I go, now imagine if I let my fist go and I'm doing this right in front of him. And Chris is like, and then I thought the bouncer was his friend. And I look at the bouncer who's this big, and I'm so angry. I go, and dude, if you're going to try to protect him, I'll cut through you like a fucking knife through hot butter. How about that? So I'm going to beat you up afterwards. Is that your friend? And you know what the guy said to me? I was so angry.
Sorry?
I'm doing this. He goes like this. He looks at me. He goes, "You UFC? You UFC?" I go, "No, I'm gonna fuck you. I'm a guy who fucks you because you picked the wrong."
UFC?
I'm losing my mind on him, and he fucking
he's a
when his hands went up like that. And he
52-year-old
goes,
UFC
he goes, "This is my spot. This is my spot, and you're doing that to my friends. So now we're in a world of trouble because you're not going anywhere."
There's no way.
That's how crazy I was.
cannot imagine a situation where a comedian who defended themselves against an audience member would ever get in trouble.
Look, I don't know what happened to me, but Chris is like staring at, and the guy's
That's
there.
what I was worried
You
about.
know
Yeah.
the deal.
Yeah.
This is you have signed up for an arrangement where you go listen to someone else talk.
But this guy was
and
crazy.
you say nothing.
But that's how with Mark, I was thinking, all right, if these guys got on stage, let's say I knocked them out, is Adam going to kick me out of the comments?
No,
You know what I'm saying?
Brent, never.
No. Dude, I remember, were you there the night that someone rushed the stage on Steve Byrne in the OR?
No.
It was wild, and it happened so fucking fast. And, because the OR at the Comedy Store is so dark that, I trip every time I walk
And
off stage.
tiny.
I'm like, thanks, everyone. Like, always. You, like, stub your fucking toe, or you,
Yeah.
like, hit yourself in the shin. You're like, fuck. So I remember someone came, and Steve Byrne doesn't play around.
No.
Like, I didn't
He's
know
also
that.
the best guy in the world.
I didn't know that about Byrne because he's the nicest fucking guy. The first person that was ever nice to me in comedy. It's actually a really embarrassing story because when I first started comedy, I was on it was MySpace days, and I had gotten a spot on Last Call with Carson Daly. Don't be jealous. And I uploaded it to my MySpace.
Hell yeah.
MySpace.
With your top 8 friends.
It
Let's
got
see.
like-
Don't be jealous.
By the
Don't
time
be
it
jealous.
got 30 to 40 views, I want to say Steve Byrne reached out to me and was like, yo, if you're ever in New York, let me get you some spots. Like, I'll hook you up with the cellar and da-da. And I'm like, oh, that's a nice, like out of nowhere. To this day, no one's ever done something like that. I've never done
He's
that
such
for
a good
anyone.
person.
He reached,
He's such a
he
good
brought,
guy.
like, can you
I would never do that.
imagine? It's just so incredibly time consuming to be as nice as he
It's
was.
a lot of work.
He called the comic strip. He called the Comedy Cellar. He called when there was an improv in New York.
He's the
He
best.
called Caroline's. He got me 8 spots.
Goddamn.
In a weekend.
That's Steve Byrne.
And
That's why I
had
love
done
him so
one
much.
I don't
mediocre
know him that
set on Last Call with Carson Daly.
Yeah.
So I get to New York and he's like, well, let me know if we're at the same club. Let's like meet up. Great. I fully think I'm going to have to fuck him. I'm
Yeah.
fully prepared.
I was looking for a catch here.
Yeah, I'm fully prepared. I'm like, got my deodorant on. I'm all set. And we meet up and I'm like fully like, okay, I guess I have to date this person, like whatever this exchange is.
We're dating now.
We're together. He shows up with a model that he's dating, and I was like, "Oh my god, he's just this nice." And
He's that nice.
Yeah, I'm way
He's that
too ugly
nice.
for him.
Yeah.
But like, he just did this out of the kindness.
I'm way too ugly.
He showed up with like a 22-year-old model, and I was like, "Oh,
Oh,
like,
this
couldn't
isn't.
understand what's
I love
happening.
it. Yeah, I don't know Steve that. He's
No,
always nice.
But
though.
if you fuck with Steve, it's not a game.
Yes.
so someone rushed the OR on him.
Yeah, because I've seen him, because I used to open for him on the road a little bit, and I saw it like a couple times when people disrespected him. It did not go great, and then he doesn't tolerate disrespect.
No.
This guy came up to him on stage, and Brett Ernst was there too. I just remember seeing Brett like run through
Yeah.
the audience
Yeah.
over the chairs, like, and it was just like a whole.
Yeah, I
brawl.
think for me, I feel so. I'm not a tough guy, as you know. I'm not. There's nothing like compared to the guys like this. I'm nothing. But I think that I feel tougher than a lot of comedians because I always look at them as dysfunctional misfits. And if somebody's gonna come at them, so a good example is my buddy works with. He's a lawyer for children in foster care, and his whole life has been to protect people. He'd be the one who would adopt a 3-legged mutt. All he does is a caregiver. He's just
Yeah.
always been the voice for the forsaken and the forgotten. This guy, this giant dude, he went downstairs. Hey, can you guys keep it down because my girlfriend's trying to sleep? And this giant guy goes, "What are you going to do?"
Wait, where
about
are you?
it?" This was I wasn't there, but what I'm saying is that he felt like a coward because the guy punked him, and he goes, "Brian, I was terrified." I go, "You're supposed to be. You've never thrown a punch.
Yeah.
You don't think about this." And this giant guy is putting you in water that you don't even know how to swim in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not what your thing is. It
Yeah.
doesn't make you a coward. It means you're a gentle human being. And this guy like Brendan with cauliflower ears, everybody's going to be terrified.
Yeah.
So I feel always that when comedians, like someone like Chris, who's an innocent, who's not thinking about this, and this guy's in his face.
No, never.
You
yeah.
feel like you have to protect
Do you
them.
think Chris can fight
No.
on any level? I've never even.
I talked to him.
I've never pictured.
No, he goes, the only time I said, because I remember me and Dove and Chris, he had a tank top on. He was walking around in a tank top. This is when he was featuring for Dove and I.
Yeah.
And this rough looking guy just sees Chris's hairy chest and he's walking all lanky and he doesn't give a shit. His body's all like soft. He's like, do-do-do-do-do-do. And he looked like it was a pattern tank top. He looked so ridiculous. And we're walking through this group and this rough San Diego thug looking to fight just looks at Chris and goes, he just looks at me and goes, like that, like fucking pussy, like that. And Chris just goes, just keeps walking. And I clocked him. the whole thing. I go, did you see that guy? He's like trying to fight you. He goes, oh, whatever. And I go, is there any circumstance you would fight? He goes, I mean, no. And he goes,
For
I
no.
go, for nothing. And I go, I mean, he goes, I guess if somebody hit my mom. That's the only time.
I would like tweet negative shit about
it's
it.
not in his DNA. He acted when the guy
But
was in
no,
his face. He
I don't
acted
know
like it was
anyone who likes starting shit more, but won't. You know what I mean?
Because he doesn't-
Why did you just start a
he
fight
never-
in
he doesn't think it's
Albuquerque?
gonna physically-
What are you
Yeah.
thinking?
Because he's never been punched.
Now he's in Albuquerque.
and it's so dangerous.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
But then last night he's posted like he's at a coffee shop eating dinner by himself.
I'm like, now people know
He's
who
like,
you are.
fuck this place.
But see, that's because Chris is.
But he doesn't like. He thinks everyone is in on the joke.
Yeah.
But
But
also,
some people
you
are.
never know who the fuck you're gonna piss off, and I think that there's
I
this.
do.
When I
in other words, Chris has never had a relationship with the violence. You know who's afraid of violence and fighting on the street? That guy, because he fought.
Because you know what people
He
are
knows the
capable of.
difference.
Exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and he knows
I know
how
the
bad it can be.
repercussions of it.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
And
The
the,
what?
the less you fight,
Repercussion.
the less you fight,
The
the braver
what?
you are.
You know what I'm saying?
repercussions.
Some words I struggle city with.
He's got
English is tough.
Repercussion.
You know what I'm saying?
repercussion.
I know the
that's because I've been
concussions.
in that.
I think you're saying concussion.
That's because I've been in that.
I'll tell you this right now.
Yeah.
Watch your tone.
Okay. What's going to happen? What are you going to do? Use some of that boxing you've been doing?
Don't you fucking disrespect.